Welcome back to Booze and the Rocks. My name is David Edwards, and today I'm going to use one of these limes and one of these coffee filters to make this, a clarified jungle bird. But first, this. So let's get into this. I am going to make a clarified jungle bird, but first I want to get into some history and some understanding. So what the hell is a clarification? Now the Webster's Dictionary defines it as to make a liquid or something liquefied clear or pure, usually by freeing from suspended matter, whatever that means. Now clarified alcohols have been around for a long time. Some have suggested that the originator of this process was Aphra Behn. She was an English playwright, poet, translator, and fiction writer from the mid-1600s. However, the earliest recorded recipe comes from Mary Rocket in 1711, and this recipe was a clarified milk punch. And this is the way it goes. You add 2 gallons of hot milk to a gallon of brandy, 5 quarts of water, 8 lemons, and 2 pounds of sugar. You let that mixture sit for an hour, then strain it through a flannel bag, i.e. one of my shirts. Now, Ben Franklin was a huge fan of clarified milk punches as well, and in 1763, he sent a letter to a friend with his own recipe. And it goes like this. Take 6 quarts of brandy, the rind of 44 lemons, and let that steep for 24 hours. Then pour in 4 quarts of water, add 4 large nutmegs grated, add 2 quarts of lemon juice, 3 pounds of double fine sugar, and then you have to boil 3 quarts of milk. Then you got to mix it until the sugar dissolves, and then let that stand for 2 hours, then strain through a jelly bag. Now 100 years later, after Charles Dickens died, they found bottles of this stuff in his cellar, and it was still good. Now the secret to a clarified milk punch is the curdling of the milk and the fat content. And this makes it possible to strain out dairy solids through a cheesecloth or fine mesh until the beverage is clear. And we'll explain it as we go so it's easier to understand. So the first thing, of course, I need is my shaking glass. Now I'm making a double-sized batch of this just so it's easier to illustrate all the steps together. So the first thing, of course, we need is a dark rum. And I've got some Captain Morgan's dark rum here. And what we need is 3 ounces or 90 milliliters. And I had this really interesting pouring technique that you'll see in the bloopers that really screwed up. So of course the next thing we need is some Campari. Now Campari, of course, is an Italian red bitter, and we need 1.5 ounces of this. And that works out to 45 milliliters. Next, we need a little bit of simple sugar. Now I'm using a simple 1-to-1 ratio of sugar, and what we need is 1 ounce. 1 ounce, of course, works out to 30 milliliters. Now, of course, we need a little bit of pineapple juice. And this is fresh pineapple juice. This is all we have at the moment. And so, of course, we need 3 more ounces. And last but not least, we need some lime juice. And we need 1 ounce of fresh lime juice. Now the good thing about this recipe is we're not going to shake it. We're not going to do a lot with this. However, I now need another glass because we need some milk. And we're going to use milk as our straining matter. The way this works is we add approximately at a 4-to-1 ratio for milk. So we're going to use 2 ounces of milk, which is 60 milliliters. And the fat content will curdle as we pour our alcohols and citrus directly into here. Don't do it the other way because this is already acidic by nature because of the alcohols and the citrus juice. What we want to do is we want to bring it into our milk, thereby lowering the pH level until it becomes acidic. And we're going to do that by just slowly pouring this in. And this will begin the curdling process, which you can see right now happening. And it looks wonderful. No, I'm serious, it really doesn't look wonderful. It looks nasty and gross. And so we're gonna give this a very basic stir. We're just making sure everything works in. And we're going to start this process right away. So I'm gonna get rid of this here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab another glass. Now, what we also need, of course, is some way to strain this and allow the milk curds to filter this out. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a funnel, we're going to put it in here. Now, my coffee filter doesn't work for size. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold this in half, sort of triangle it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in like this, and I have a basic function. We are going to slowly pour this in. And what will begin to happen as we do this is you'll see the liquids will begin to drain through. It's already begun a little bit of the straining process. So what happens is the milk curds will fall to the bottom of your coffee filter here, and they will actually line the filter, and the liquid will have to filter through the solid milk curds. Okay, so then what's going to happen is you're going to let this sit for a long, long time. However, what you're then going to do is you're going to pop this open here. You're going to take this, put this back here, and you will begin this again, because you're going to add this directly into this. And if you look at it now, it's a little bit clearer. And this is what we have. This is going to take you roughly an hour to get to this amount. And look at the difference. Absolutely nice, clear, totally not the color that you had before. So I'm going to put this right here. Now, it looks nice. It looks like an incredibly light pineapple juice. And you can smell the pineapple juice. Okay. But we're gonna serve it now. And we're gonna serve it in one of these, in a rocks glass. And you know what? We're gonna do this right with a nice big chunk of ice like so. And here you go. We don't even need to strain this. We don't have to do anything special with this. And now you're going to see just how clear it is. Interesting. This is a thing of beauty. Almost perfectly translucent ice with a near perfectly translucent drink. This is magnificent to behold. It smells good. And you know, I desperately want to put a garnish in this. And you can put a garnish in this. However, if you have one. But I'm going to leave it pure in its simplicity. Oh, that is smooth. It is so easy to drink. The Campari is still there, but it doesn't have the really bitter notes. So what's happened is the casing from the milk protein, when it separated the curds, it bound a lot of the harsh oxidants that you'd find in some of your alcohols together to the milk curds. And that allowed what comes through the filter to be smooth and rounded. Very, very fine, very, very easy to drink. Oh yeah. And look at that. Absolutely wonderful. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a list of the ingredients and the method of how to make this and do this down in the description down below. If you think I should have used a different type of bitter or a different type of rum, leave a comment down below. However, if this is your first time to my channel, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell notification. That way, every time we post a new video, you will be notified. And if you don't like rum or a beautiful cocktail. Hit the thumbs down button twice, and we'll see you next time. And today we're going to use one of these limes, a coffee filter, to make this, a clarified jinglebird. The Webster's Dictionary defines it as to make a liquid or something liquid, milliliters.